Welcome back to Across the Pitch. This is episode 2, and we're diving headfirst into all the action from the Champions League. And trust me, you don't want to miss a second of this one. If you love football, you're in the right place. We've got drama, goals, well, sometimes no goals, but still drama, and plenty of hot takes to keep you hooked. But hey, before we kick off, do us a favor. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss any future episodes. And while you're at it, drop us a comment below. Tell us your favorite moment from the week or what team you think is going all the way. We love hearing from you. All right, let's lace up, get into formation, and start episode 2 of Across the Pitch. Let's go. All right, folks, let's dive into that absolute barn burner of a Champions League match last night. Borussia Dortmund versus Barcelona. And wow, what a roller coaster that was. Barcelona just about snatched it 3-2, and let me tell you, there were fireworks from start to finish. First off, let's talk about the first half. Now, if you're a Barcelona fan, you probably thought, hey, this is going pretty well. They had something like, 70% possession, totally bossing it. Rafinha, Lewandowski, these guys were knocking on Dortmund's door like they were delivering pizza. But credit to Dortmund's keeper, Gregor Kobel. That man was unreal. Saves left, right, and center, keeping it 0-0 at halftime. You'd think Barcelona would have been ahead by 3 at that point, but nope. Football, eh? Now, the second half. Oh boy, buckle up. The goals just started flying in. Rafinha finally broke the deadlock in the 53rd minute. Dani Olmo sets him up with this delicious pass, pure class, and Rafinha just buries it. Cool as you like. And you're thinking, all right, Barca's got this in the bag. But nope, Dortmund says, not so fast. Sergio Guirassy, this guy was a problem for Barca all night, wins a penalty, steps up, and absolutely smashes it home. 1-1, game on. Signal Iduna Park is rockin'. Then we get to the Ferran Torres show. Listen, Torres comes off the bench, and it's like he had a rocket strapped to his back. Scores in the 75th minute after Kobel parries Frenkie de Jong's shot. Just a predator in the box. 2-1 to Barcelona, and it's looking like they're cruising. But Dortmund, they're not done. 3 minutes later, it's Guirassy again. Barca's defense, I don't know what happened there, but they just switch off, and Guirassy makes them pay. It's 2-2, and at this point, I'm thinking, this game could go either way. And then this is where it gets spicy. Lamine Yamal, the kid, the wonder kid, threads this gorgeous ball through to Torres. And Torres, ice in his veins, slots it past Kobel like it's nothing. Game, set, match, Barcelona. 3-2. Absolute drama. Let's talk standouts. Ferran Torres, super sub of the century. 2 goals in 15 minutes? That's how you make an impact. And Rafinha, this guy just oozes class. On the other side, though, Sergio Guirassy deserves a shout. He was Dortmund's heartbeat, but man, they just couldn't hold it together defensively. So what does this mean for the standings? Barcelona, they're sitting pretty on 15 points, looking sharp for the knockouts. Dortmund, though, it's squeaky bum time. They've got 12 points, but with defensive lapses like that, and now with Nico Schlotterbeck injured, oof, they've got work to do. All in all, a proper Champions League night. Drama, goals, and a bit of chaos. Everything we love about football. Can't wait for the next one. Okay, let's break down Feyenoord versus Sparta because, wow, what a statement from the Dutch side. Final score? 4-2 Feyenoord. And let me tell you, they came out swinging right from the first whistle. We're barely 8 minutes in, and boom, Gernot Trauner heads one in. Okay, technically it took a deflection off a Sparta defender, but hey, they all count, right? And just when Sparta Prague were trying to catch their breath, Igor Paixão said, hold my Gatorade. This guy presses like his life depends on it, snatches the ball, and goes on this solo run like it's FIFA on rookie mode. Cool finish. And suddenly it's 2-0 inside 9 minutes. I mean, come on. Then, as if Feyenoord weren't already cruising, Anis Hadj Musa decides it's his time to shine. Cuts inside from the right, left-footed rocket to the far corner. Just gorgeous. At 3-0, you're thinking, this is turning into a demolition job. But credit to Sparta Prague, they're scrappy. Right before halftime, they claw one back. Long throw-in, bit of a scramble, and Albion Rahmani pokes it home. 3-1, and suddenly there's a glimmer of hope. Fast forward to the second half, and Feyenoord's like, nope, not today. Santiago Giménez steps up in the 63rd minute, capitalizing on a defensive mistake to make it 4-1. It wasn't pretty, but it was effective. And by this point, you're thinking, game over. Well, not quite. Sparta grabs another in the 79th minute, though it's more of a gift, a Feyenoord own goal, courtesy of Thomas Bielan. Bit of a mix-up at the back, and suddenly it's 4-2. But honestly, too little, too late. Now let's talk key players. Igor Paixão was electric. His energy, his pressing. It's exactly what you want in a high-stakes match. And Anis Hadjimusa, that goal of his could make a highlight reel for days. But let's not forget Gernot Trauner, who not only scored but marshaled that backline like a general. Sure, they conceded twice, but let's not nitpick. As for Sparta, Albion Rahmani was their standout, always looking dangerous, always trying to make something happen. But their defense? Yikes. Way too shaky to handle Feyenoord's pace and pressure. So what's the takeaway? Feyenoord's now sitting pretty with 10 points, inching closer to those knockout stages. Sparta Prague, though, they've got a mountain to climb. 4 losses in 6 games. Oof, that's tough. All in all, a solid performance from Feyenoord. They showed intensity, creativity, and just enough grit to get the job done. A few defensive lapses, sure, but hey, when you score 4, you can afford a mistake or two. All right, let's talk about Juventus versus Manchester City because, wow, what a night in Turin. Juventus came out on top 2-0, and City? Let's just say their struggles are becoming the talk of Europe right now. The first half, it was all about tactics and patience. City, as usual, hogged the ball. They're like that one friend who takes over the aux at every party, but they couldn't do much with it. One decent chance fell to Haaland after a vintage Kevin De Bruyne pass. You know, the kind of pass that makes you sit up and say, this guy's a magician. But Michel Di Gregorio, Juve's keeper, said, not today. Big save, and City just couldn't find a way through. Then the second half started, and Juventus said, enough of this chess match, let's go. In the 53rd minute, Kenan Yildiz whipped in a beauty of a cross, and Dusan Vlahovic, towering like a skyscraper, heads it in. It wasn't pretty. Ederson got a hand to it, but technology doesn't lie. The ball crossed the line, and Juve is up 1-0. Cue the Allianz Stadium going nuts. City tried to respond. Bernardo Silva, Gundogan, they had their moments, but honestly, they looked flat. And then came the dagger. Timothy Weah, fresh off the bench, sprints down the right like a man on a mission, whips in this gorgeous cross, and Weston McKennie, oh my word, a scissor kick volley? Just chef's kiss. You don't see goals like that every day. 2-0 Juventus, and at that point, you could feel the frustration dripping off Guardiola on the sideline. Let's give credit where it's due. Juventus were rock solid. Their defense was disciplined, their transitions were sharp, and Vlahovic and McKennie delivered when it mattered. Michel Di Gregorio deserves a medal for that save against Haaland. It was a game changer. And City? What's going on? Sure, they had possession, but they looked toothless in the final third. Haaland was isolated, and their defense couldn't deal with crosses to save their lives. It's like they've forgotten how to win the big games. Where does this leave them? City's now in a real bind. They're 22nd in the league phase and on the brink of missing the knockouts. Pep's got some soul-searching to do, because PSG and Club Brugge are waiting, and they're not going to make life easy. As for Juventus, they're cruising up to 14th place, and this win has got to feel like a statement. Thiago Motta's got his team clicking at just the right time. So there you have it. Juventus with the swagger, City in a crisis, and the Champions League drama just keeps delivering. All right, let's talk about AC Milan versus Crvena Zvezda, because this one had everything. Milan walked away with a 2-1 win at the San Siro, but let me tell you, they had to dig deep for it. First half, Crvena Zvezda came out with no fear. Andrija Maksimovic, this 17-year-old kid, mind you, nearly scored an absolute screamer in the 18th minute. The crossbar said no, but wow, what a hit. That seemed to wake Milan up, though. They had some early setbacks. Loftus-Cheek injured, then Morata goes down, so Tammy Abraham gets subbed in. It's like a soap opera already, right? But Milan found their groove just before halftime. Yusuf Fofana with a chef's kiss of a long ball to Rafael Leão. And Leão? Oh, he makes it look so easy. Perfect touch, lifts it over the keeper, and suddenly it's 1-0. That's why this guy's the star of the show. Now, second half. Crvena Zvezda wasn't going quietly into the night. Nemanja Radonjic stepped up in the 67th minute with a rocket from distance. No chance for Magnan. 1-1, and you could feel the tension. Milan's defense? Looking shaky. Crvena Zvezda? Looking like they might just steal the show. But then, late drama. We're talking 87th minute. Set piece, chaos in the box, and Tammy Abraham says, "This is my moment." Scramble, boom, back of the net, 2-1 Milan. The San Siro erupts. Tammy went from benchwarmer to hero in a matter of minutes. Let's break it down. Milan's key? Resilience. Leão was electric, Fofana pulled the strings, and Abraham delivered when it mattered most. On the flip side, Crvena Zvezda, man, they've got heart. Radonjic's goal was a stunner, and Maximovic? This kid is special. Only 17 and already breaking records. Watch this space. For Milan, this win puts them at 12 points and in a solid position for the knockout stages. But Fonseca, their coach, wasn't exactly thrilled post-match. He called out the inconsistency, and honestly, he's got a point. They've got to tighten up if they want to go far in this competition. As for Crvena Zvezda, they're stuck at 3 points and sitting in 31st place. Tough break, but they showed enough fight to believe they can still make some noise in their final games. So, to wrap it up, Milan get the win, Crvena Zvezda leave with their heads held high, and we get another Champions League night to remember. All right, let's get into Arsenal versus Monaco, because the Gunners put on an absolute show at the Emirates. Final score? 3-0 Arsenal. And honestly, it could have been more. First half, Arsenal came out like they had something to prove. Gabriel Jesus was pulling the strings, causing chaos in Monaco's backline, and you could feel the goal coming. Sure enough, in the 34th minute, Jesus whips in this peach of a cross, and who's there? Bukayo Saka. This guy just does not miss those. One touch, bang, bottom corner. 1-0, and Arsenal's in control. Now, Monaco tried to make a game of it in the second half. They pressed higher, tried to get something going, but Arsenal's defense wasn't having it. And then, the moment that broke their spirit, 78th minute, Monaco's keeper, Radoslav Majecki, has an absolute howler. Tries to play it out, Saka pounces like a cat on a laser pointer, and just like that, it's 2-0. Clinical. But wait, there's more. 88th minute, Saka's involved again, because of course he is. He slides the ball to Kai Havertz, who's like, "Thanks, mate," and slots it home. 3-0, game over. Emirates buzzing. Let's talk stars. Bukayo Saka, what more can I say? 2 goals, 1 assist, and just oozing class. The guy's already at 9 goals and 11 assists this season. Unreal. And how about Miles Lewis-Skelly? The kid's only 18, making his Champions League debut, and he plays like he's been there for years. 96% pass accuracy. Are you kidding me? On the other side, Monaco looked toothless. They had a bit of a push after halftime, but Arsenal's defense was locked in. Honestly, they were outclassed in every department. What does this mean? Well, Arsenal's now sitting pretty in third place with 13 points, 1 foot in the knockout stages. Monaco? They've got 10 points, and their road to the last 16 just got a whole lot steeper. Mikel Arteta must be buzzing after this one. He's got Saka firing, his defense solid, and the young guns like Lewis-Skelly stepping up. If they can keep this momentum going, Arsenal might be one of the dark horses in this year's Champions League. So, to sum it up, Arsenal dominate, Monaco stumble, and Bukayo Saka reminds us all why he's one of the best in the business right now. Let's talk Stuttgart versus Young Boys, because this one was an absolute roller coaster, and Stuttgart just steamrolled their way to a 5-1 win at the MHP Arena. 5 goals, 3 points, and a statement made. Let's break it down. So picture this. The game kicks off, and 6 minutes in, Young Boys are like, "Hold up, we've got something to say." Lukasz Lakomi smashes one from outside the box, and bam, it's 1-0. And the moment? Heartbreaking, but beautiful. They dedicated the goal to Meshchak Elia, their teammate who's been dealing with a family tragedy. Lakomi held up Elia's jersey, and you could feel the emotion. A powerful start. But Stuttgart? Oh, they weren't going to roll over. They took that goal as a wake-up call. In the 25th minute, Angelo Stiller steps up, perfect positioning, clinical finish, 1-1, and Stuttgart's back in business. Now, the second half? That's where the floodgates opened. It started in the 53rd minute with a bit of drama. Enzo Malo scores after a VAR-reviewed play that had young boys fuming. But hey, the goal stands, and it's 2-1 Stuttgart. From there, it was like watching a team in turbo mode. Chris Führich makes it 3-1 in the 61st minute with a banger, and then Joscha Wagnermann, on his birthday, no less, gets in on the action. This guy scores the fourth, and the crowd is absolutely loving it. Imagine celebrating your birthday like that. Dream stuff. Yannick Keitel capped it off with a fifth goal in the 75th minute, and at that point, it was lights out for young boys. Let's highlight the stars. Angelo Stiller's equalizer? Crucial. Enzo Malo? This guy was everywhere, creating, scoring, you name it. And Joscha Wagnermann? A goal, an assist, and a birthday party all rolled into one. For young boys, it's tough. 6 losses in 6 matches. It's been a brutal campaign. But that early goal from Lacomi and the tribute to Elia? That was a moment that transcended the game. What does this mean? Stuttgart's back in the mix. They're now 1 point away from those knockout spots, and with this kind of form, you wouldn't bet against them. As for young boys, their Champions League journey is done, but hopefully they can regroup and come back stronger. So, Stuttgart flexed their muscles, young boys had their moments, and the Champions League just keeps delivering the drama. All right, let's break down Atletico Madrid versus Slovan Bratislava. Final score, 3-1 Atletico. And honestly, it felt like business as usual for Simeone's men. These guys are a well-oiled machine right now. So the first half starts and Atletico wastes no time. Julian Alvarez, that guy is on fire this season. 16th minute, he gets the ball on the edge of the box and boom, top corner. Keeper had no chance. That's his 12th goal of the season, by the way. Absolute class. Now, credit to Slovan Bratislava. They didn't just roll over. Tigran Barsegian almost pulled one back with a thunderous shot, but the crossbar said, not today. Unlucky for them, because right before halftime, Atletico strikes again. Marcos Llorente sends in this beautiful cross, and who's there? Antoine Griezmann. Of course, it's Griezmann. Dude leaps like a salmon and heads it in. 2 in a row, and Atletico's cruising. Second half, though, Slovan showed some fight. David Strelec earns a penalty, steps up, and slots it home. 2-1, and suddenly, it feels like a game again. But Atletico being Atletico, they weren't about to let things slip. Griezmann comes through again in the 66th minute. Great build-up play, and he's there at the near post to finish it off. 2-goal cushion restored, and that's game over. Let's talk about Griezmann for a second. 2 goals in this match, 5 games in a row with a goal. This guy is aging like fine wine. And Julian Alvarez? He's been an absolute revelation this season. Atletico's attack feels unstoppable when those two are clicking. As for Slovan Bratislava, look, they had their moments. Barsegian's effort was a real highlight, and Strelec converting that penalty showed some composure. But 6 losses in 6 games? It's been a rough campaign for them, no doubt about it. So, what's the takeaway? Atletico Madrid are flying high. 10 wins in a row across all competitions, and now sitting pretty in 10th place in the Champions League standings. They're looking like real contenders. Simeone has this team locked in, and if they keep this form up, they're going to be a nightmare for anyone in the knockouts. For Slovan, well, it's back to the drawing board. They've got some rebuilding to do, but hey, moments like Barsegian's effort show there's some talent to work with. All in all, another day at the office for Atletico Madrid. All right, let's dive into Lille versus Sturm Graz, because this match was an absolute roller coaster. Final score? 3-2 to Lille. But wow, both teams gave us a game to remember. So, Lille came out firing in the first half. They were pressing, moving the ball around, and looking sharp. In the 37th minute, Osame Saroui takes advantage of a mistake at the back. Clinical finish, 1-0 Lille. And just when Sturm Graz is trying to recover, Mitchell Bakker steps up in the 45th minute. Lovely team play, and he slots it home to make it 2-0. Lille's cruising, right? Not so fast. Sturm Graz pulls one back immediately in stoppage time. Otar Kateshvili scores a beauty, and suddenly it's 2-1 heading into the break. Momentum's starting to swing, and you could feel the energy shift. Second half kicks off, and boom, 47th minute, Mika Biereth levels it for Sturm Graz. It's 2-2, and suddenly Lille's looking shaky. Credit to Sturm, they came out with fire and showed they weren't going down without a fight. But Lille wasn't done yet. Enter Håkon Arnar Haraldsson. Bruno Genesio brings him on in the 80th minute, and this guy wastes no time. Literally a minute later, he curls one into the top corner. Absolute magic. 3-2 Lille, and the stadium erupts. That's how you make an impact off the bench. Let's talk about the standouts. Osame Sahraoui was electric, constantly making things happen in the final third. Mitchell Bakker? Rock solid on both ends of the pitch, and his goal was the cherry on top. And Haraldsson? What can you say? A game winner like that makes you an instant hero. For Sturm Graz, Kateshvili and Biereth showed real quality. That second half comeback was impressive, even if it fell short. They've got fight, but the results just haven't been there for them this campaign. So what does this mean? Lille's now 6th in the Champions League standings with 13 points. They're looking good for the knockouts, and if they keep this up, they could be a real dark horse. Sturm Graz, on the other hand, is stuck in 29th with just 3 points. Their Champions League dream is slipping away. All in all, Lille showed resilience, Sturm brought the drama, and we got a proper European night. All right, let's talk about Benfica versus Bologna, a match that somehow ended 0-0, but had everything except the goals. Benfica came out guns blazing, but Bologna's defense, and let's be real, their keeper, Łukasz Skorupski, absolutely stole the show. So we're 2 minutes in, and it looks like Benfica's got the perfect start. Vangelis Pavlidis finds the net, the crowd's going wild. But wait, VAR steps in, and nope, offside. Talk about an early buzzkill. But that didn't stop Benfica. Angel Di Maria, the maestro, was pulling the strings, creating chance after chance. He even had this insane volley midway through the first half. But Skorupski? Oh, he wasn't having it. Guy looked like he had octopus arms out there. Bologna, on the other hand, didn't offer much going forward. Their main plan seemed to be survive and hope for the best. And honestly, it worked. They got to halftime without conceding, which, considering Benfica's pressure, was a minor miracle. Second half, same story. Benfica's pushing, Pavlidis gets another golden chance, and guess who's there again? Yep, Skorupski. This guy was everywhere, diving, stretching, saving Bologna's bacon time and time again. And let's not forget the physicality. 10 yellow cards in one match. 10! It felt more like a wrestling match at times, with players flying into tackles and tempers flaring. By the 80th minute, it was less Champions League football and more who's going to get sent off first. So, what's the takeaway here? Benfica played well, but couldn't finish, and that's been their Achilles heel. Di Maria was their standout, creating chances left and right, but they just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. Bologna? It was all about Skorupski. That man deserves a statue in Bologna after this performance. As far as the standings go, Benfica's still hanging around in 15th place, but they've got to start converting these chances if they want to stay in the knockout conversation. Bologna, though? Sitting in 33rd, 2 points, and their Champions League campaign is basically done. Still, a gritty performance like this is something they can build on domestically. So, no goals, but plenty of drama and a goalkeeping masterclass from Skorupski. That's Champions League football for you. And that's a wrap for episode 2 of Across the Pitch. Thanks for tuning in and sharing your time with us. We seriously appreciate every single one of you. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you're the first to know when we drop new content. And hey, we want to hear from you. Jump down to the comments and let us know your thoughts. Who impressed you the most this week? Which team's on your radar for the next round? Let's keep the conversation going. We'll catch you in the next episode, where the drama continues, the goals keep coming, hopefully, and the passion for football never stops. Until then, keep loving the game, and we'll see you across the pitch.